About my support. I have one of your swords here.
You stole it from me?
If I'd stolen it, I wouldn't be giving it back.
You know what you have there? That sword is irreplaceable. It belonged to Eric Eisenfaust. You did well in bringing this to me. It doesn't bear thinking what its loss would have meant. You have my thanks, and the thanks of all true berserkers.
How am I doing?
Drogue put in a good word for you. But you impressed the wrong man. Others have paid for taking his word before now. You will need more than his word to gain promotion. I hear you failed Angram's test. You helped protect the seedlings from mutants. Born was grateful for the help you gave him with the harvest. He has spoken up for you. Yora says that you found him the converter parts he needed. That impressed him enough to earn you his pledge. My wife seems to hold you in great favor. You helped Irdor, something we neglected to do. You helped foil the plot to steal Eric Eisenfaust's sword. For that, all berserkers must be grateful. All told, I am pleased with you. You have done a lot to help the people here. You have earned a just reward. You have proved a friend to the berserkers. I think you should consider joining us. Think about it. Maybe someday, when you're ready, we will teach you about our magic.
You should put that away. Technology will get you into trouble here.
So, you decided to stick around. Well, I've been given a job by Warlord Ragnar that I think might suit you, if you want to stay around for longer.
Tell me about the job.
Well, the task I have on offer should profit you, and though it's not the best way to sell our community to you, it should demonstrate that we're open about things here. You see, there was a murder committed just outside Goliath a few months ago. A rather dedicated berserker named Ascor was killed. There's been an investigation, but no definitive answers as to why he was killed. So, Ragnar wants me to follow up and find the murderer.
And what can I do?
Well, I'm having trouble getting answers from people. Maybe an outsider will have more success getting them to open up. Would you talk to the suspects and see what they have to say?
Tell me about the victim.
His name was Ascor. He was a warrior, newly promoted from cultivator. Ragnar had high hopes for him, but Ascor wasn't popular. He went missing around Mana's Eve 3 months ago. No one knew where he'd gone, and it wasn't like he had many shards to up and disappear with. Then one of Ragnar's patrols found Ascor's body rotten up in the forest. It looks like he was stabbed several times with a sword. Whoever did it was strong enough to overcome him, but clumsy. They didn't find anything on Ascor to point to who might be the murderer.
And you think I can find the killer?
You're a stranger here. That means you might see things I won't.
What kind of logic is that?
To be honest, I think this is a dead-end job. But Ragnar, against all the evidence, seems to think it was a berserker that killed Ascor, and he wants answers. Me, I think it's a wild goose chase. None of Ragnar's questioning has thrown up any proof a berserker was involved in this, so chances are it was an alb, an outlaw, or a reaver. But if a warlord has an itch to scratch, then that means we have to go and scratch it. So, let's cross all these suspects off the list and give them some closure.
Is this why you brought me to Goliath? To do your dirty work?
I brought you to Goliath to give you a chance. And this is a way to earn it by getting a warlord on your side.
Does Ragnar think a berserker murdered Ascor?
Ascor was killed with a sword, and there aren't too many people who use swords outside of Idan. But if Ragnar's right, then there must be someone who was outside the walls at the time of the crime. So, Ragnar drew up a list of 5 suspects. No idea why these 5 exactly, but Ragnar will have his reasons.
I'll find the murderer.
Ragnar wants answers. He seems determined to find out what happened. Myself, I don't know if we'll ever know what happened. But if we can eliminate these 5 suspects, he might let this go. And who knows? Maybe one of them did do it, and you'll get the proof.
The suspects talk to me.
Tell them you're investigating on Ragnar's orders. They'll answer your questions. Let me know if you need help. Remember, my sword belongs to you.
Who are the suspects?
A group of people who were out there in the forest at the time of the murder. First on the list is Berin. He's a guard. Well, he's supposed to be a guard. As far as I know, he doesn't have an alibi. But I think the only real reason he's on the list is because he knew Ascor when he was younger. Then there's Thorgal. He's in charge of a world heart in Abessa. I have no idea why Ragnar would put him on the list. Maybe just to be complete. Third is Garen, a hunter. He was reliable, but he seems to have lost heart in himself. There's something troubling him. Last are Irdor and Rock. Rock I can't get a handle on. There's something he's not happy about. Irdor is still wet behind the ears. Bit of a whiner, but seems to care about his job. They were all outside Goliath at the time of the murder.
What do you want me to ask them?
Where they were 3 months ago around Mana's Eve when the crime was committed. What they thought of Ascor. I doubt you'll get a confession. I doubt any of them did it, but you'll get a sense of the men, and then you can report back to me so we can close the case.
Where can I find them?
They're all still out there. Track them down, then report back to me when you've discovered something.
Do you think we make a good team, Duras?
We're a team. I'm ready if you are.
nothing to do?
What? Who are you? What do you want? Who goes there?
Are you a guard?
Stop asking questions and answer them. Who are you?
You're lucky I'm not an enemy.
Well, you know, it's not like the elves are going to attack these trees, is it? If there's one thing the elves know we got a lot of, it's trees. And it's not like these trees do much. I mean, they're not going to run away while I'm asleep, are they? Did Master Thorold send you? Is there something important? Because if not, just go, okay?
That's not any use to me now.
Oh, keep it short, I'm tired.
What makes you think Thorold the Pilgrim sent me?
When he was still the big boss up there in Goliath, he used to reprimand me quite often. I wondered if he was still keeping an eye on me. Still, whatever. I've heard he's retreated into study. Let him play with his magic. I hope it does save us. And while he's away, I have my peace and quiet out here.
What do you know about Thorold's retreat?
Not much. It said that he is working on a plan to stop the Albs. It's something huge that would change the war in all of Magellan. You think it? It happens. The Albs are screwed. Just like that. No idea what it is, though. But nobody is really allowed to talk about it. Well, then nobody even really understands what he's doing anyway.
Where is Pilgrim Thorold?
Well, that is confidential. Meaning, if anyone actually knows, no one is actually saying. Maybe he will figure out how to rob the elves of their magical strength, at least. Then good, honest warriors could go back to sleeping in nice, comfortable beds.
Now there's a future that Magellan should be fighting for. I need to ask you about Ascor's murder.
I can't tell you anything about that. Not anything that's not being said already. He should have kept his head down like me. Ambition only gets you dead. He should have picked this spot and stayed there. Why are you interested in that? Really?
Tell me what you do know about the murder.
Me? I only know what people are saying. That they thought Ascor had run away, but he hadn't. He'd been murdered somewhere out in the forest. I was out here at the time, on guard duty.
Did anyone see you? Is there anyone who can give you an alibi?
Hilda. She was with me all night. Her and Alva, and Dagny, and Erica, Freya, Garrett, Heggie, Magda. They're the trees over there. They're my girls. Very lonely out here. So no, I have no alibi.
You look quite strong for somebody who's just standing around all day.
Maybe. And?
Did you know Ascor well?
Since we were old enough to crawl, our parents were friends. We grew up like brothers.
Have you been trained to use that sword?
All berserkers are. You think I could survive out here if I couldn't use it?
Ascor's body was found near here. Did you see it?
No. I know where he was found. But no, I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't see him. I wouldn't want to remember him like that. My duties keep me here most of the time. So I stay looking after my girls, the trees, making sure they stay safe.
Where do you go when you do get away?
Nearby. Not Goliath, if that's what you mean. I tend to stay out here these days.
Where nearby?
The lift into the Valley of the Damned. That's a good place to relax. There's quite the view of the valley there. It's a good place to let your worries just drift away. I hope you find who did it.
Maybe you did it. You knew him. You don't have an alibi.
Why would I kill him? He was my friend.
Why should I believe you?
Because it sounds like you're doing something about this, like you want to find out who did it. You should start with people who had a problem with him, not his friends.
Your friend Ascor, what kind of man was he?
Well, he wasn't a simple guy. He was my friend. Our parents were friends. We basically grew up as brothers. But he was sort of ambitious, and that sometimes, well, made me an ass. Listen, it doesn't matter. Just forget what I said.
Ambition could give a motive, if he got in someone's way.
Well, don't look at me. I'm happy where I am. I don't give a troll's ass about promotion.
That's not any use to me now. Too easy. I'm in. That's not any use to me now.
Yeah, it needs to be totally reworked. If you can get the spares.
Tell me, what do you know about Ascor's murder?
Nothing, really. I don't hear much from Goliath out here.
So, you were here when he was killed?
Probably. I haven't been anywhere else in months. I only go back for supplies or to transport seedlings. When was Ascor killed?
3 months ago, around Mana's Eve.
Oh, then I was back in Goliath sometime around then. I've lost track, to be honest, but whenever it was, I didn't see anything.
How well do you know Ascor?
Not at all. I mean, I knew of him. People talked about him. But I don't think I ever said more than hello to him, and he ignored me. He didn't really have time for cultivators. But, you know, people can be like that. Some value our work, others think they're superior somehow.
Do you know where they found Ascor's body?
I'm guessing somewhere in the forest, or why ask me, right?
Did you hear anything else about Ascor?
Well, I'm wondering why you're not asking me about the seedling that disappeared the same night Ascor was murdered. No one seems to be asking about it. And from what I heard, it wasn't just a seedling, it was one close to maturity. I heard it was being sent to a cultivator in the hope it could go on to Tavar or somewhere as a new world heart. But it never arrived.
Do you carry a sword?
Of course. It's dangerous out here.
You work here on your own?
Most of the time. That's part of the punishment. It didn't used to be as lonely. They'd send patrols out to check on us. But since the Albs started attacking, we've been left on our own out here. Yeah, I guess we're not a priority.
I don't think you killed Ascor.
Me? Of course I didn't.
You really don't think you have a motive?
You mean the seedling he had? I'm a cultivator. I look after a world heart. I want to know what happened to the seedling he had. Why aren't you investigating where it went?
You're out here with a sword and no witnesses.
If I tried to attack a warrior with a sword, chances are you'd be planting me in the ground.
Get something to drink first.
That is a shame.
Not any use to me now. A berserker was killed. The body was found in the forest.
The forest is a dangerous place.
The berserker who was murdered was called Ascor. Did you know him?
Ascor? That asshole?
Yeah, I knew him. I kept out of his way. He kissed Ragnar's ass and treated everyone else like rot-bore shit.
Sociable guy, aren't you?
Sociable just means happy to talk shit. I don't talk shit.
When were you last in the forest by Goliath?
I don't know. Not for a year. This is the best area for hunting, and all Goliath cares about is me filling my quota. As long as I send them meat and fur, I can stay out here away from small talk and politics.
Do you always hunt with a bow?
A bow? Traps? You should always try and kill at a distance. Learn that, and you will live longer. I'm here to feed berserkers, not the creatures.
You didn't like Ascor.
I didn't put myself in a position where I needed to. Little shit won't be missed.
Sounds like you had a grudge.
I think most people are assholes. You only asked me about Ascor. What's with all these questions? Is some asshole trying to pin this on me?
I'm questioning anyone I meet out here.
If you want an alibi for me, you'll have to go out there and speak to the raptors.
Is that your only alibi?
I'm a hunter. You want to know where I am? I'm always here in the forest.
About Ascor's murder. I don't think Berrin did it. Ascor was his friend, and Berrin just wants to be left alone. I don't see why he'd murder anyone.
All right. Even though he knew Ascor better than most, yeah, you're right. He doesn't have the energy or the motive. Frankly, I only think Ragnar wanted Berrin questioned in case he had seen anything. It looks like he didn't. Let's take him off the list for now.
Garen just wants to hunt. He didn't like Ascor, but I don't think he killed him. Besides, if he had killed Ascor, he'd have used his bow, not a sword.
Yeah, all Garen wants is to hunt. He'd have no motive for this.
It's not conclusive, but I don't think it was him.
I agree. I don't think it was him either. Let's take him off the list.
Irdor didn't have time to commit a murder. He's tending to the world hard and looking after supplies. Besides, he's just too weak to have killed Ascor in the way you described.
Yes, I agree. I don't think Irdor was capable of this. That's one less suspect for us. You're making good progress. I'll keep Ragnar informed.
Do you think we make a good team, Duras?
Two experienced warriors like us? I feel like there is nothing we cannot do.
I could use your help.
Then you have it.
Think you can keep up with me? I mean, I use a jetpack sometimes.
I know. I have one that I haven't taken to the pit yet.
Can you use it, though? You are a berserker.
Yeah, sometimes rules can be bent. I'll deal with any trouble.
Then let's go. There's an abandoned camp in some ruins to the west of Goliath. You can meet me there.
You lead, I'll follow. Don't forget, Ragnar still wants an answer to Ascor's murder. We should tell him something. The berserkers have held the Alps back with bravery and magic. This fight will call upon those qualities.